What's going on, guys? Deathstroke here. So today I want to do a different video. This is a rant, but it is a well-versed rant, if you will. All right, so I still have to make another video, a part 2 to the Syntheseps video that I made that was requested from someone that went into the comment section and requested I do a review with a different skill tree. So I plan on doing that a little bit later today. I spent time with the family in the morning, so I did not get to it right away. But I did say I would do it today, so it will be up sometime today for sure. All right, so the big thing that I want to address is what's happening in the Crucible. A lot of people are talking about nerf this, nerf that, Mida needs to be nerfed. What's the deal with these weapons? Uriel's Gift is the only valuable option. You have Uriel's Gift, you have the Prosecutor, your origin story. And are they wrong? No, they're not. But are they fully right? No, they're not. And let me explain. I'm going to make this as quick as possible. So the big thing is that those are the best guns in the game. You have Mida because it is consistent. It occasionally shoots through walls. It's consistent and fires fast as shit. And it somehow seems to 3-tap, 4-tap. It's so inconsistent on how many taps you can get a kill with. But it does it. Uriel's Gift fires at the range of a fucking scout rifle on steroids, so it is used. So the downfall is, can an average player pick it up and be good? No, an average player will pick it up and be maybe slightly above average. The problem is that a lot of you that aren't, if you're not above average at least, where you consider yourself a good player, if you go against a good player that has those weapons and you're not using a weapon, especially one in the same archetype, you're at a disadvantage. If you are a really good player using a 600 rounds per minute auto rifle against a average player with a Uriel's, you can beat him because you're going to outstrafe him, you're going to pre-fire, you're going to do all those calculated things that a good player would do. So you have to address it like that. You need to think of it as good player, average player, top tier players, because they're all going to have different actions that impede different results on the guns that they're using. Midas, they're going to know the exact ranges to get the most damage. They're going to know how to get those head glitch spots, because it seems like everyone that uses Mida has a head glitch spot. So you have to address that and say, I'm not going to peek this wide open lane when I know there's probably 4 fucking bitches on the other side. I mean, you have to address things appropriately. All right, so moving on from that is, I don't think we're going to get a good change anytime soon. Even if they nerf high cows, it's still going to kill pretty fast. I mean, it's not going to change the time to kill. It will change the stagger rate, but it will not change the time to kill, taking away high caliber rounds. So don't think it is going to be the end all be all of nerfs or adjustments or whatever if it does happen to Mida. Second thing is, what the actual fuck, Bungie, on your spawn system. I have a 2.52 KAD stupid thing on my banner. I like that. There's one person on my friends list that has higher, and I've ran into a couple people in the Crucible that have higher, and yet I beat them because they're used to playing only average players, and you can very well tell by their actions. Is that if you even remotely consider yourself good, I am not showboating. I consider myself a decently good player. Not average, above average, good player. And I've noticed that when I go against these players that have higher KDs or higher scores, we went against a guy that had 9 flawless runs. And we destroyed him because he was trying the most amateur of things. I don't know if he DDoSed the players that he was going against or what it may be, but it was wrong. I mean, I couldn't wear the banner because there's no pride in something you didn't earn. One, I work hard as fuck not to die, especially in a game where everyone is holding hands and shooting you with 3 Midas down a lane, rushing you with 3 Last Hopes. I run Last Hope. I run Mida occasionally. I've been trying to run it consistently, so I always have it for trials if I need to put it on, and do compete with sweaty people. You have to just accept the meta. In certain situations, you cannot, oh, well, you can use anything. This is not a Cammy Cakes video where he says, oh, the fighting line is good. The fighting line is good if your team is fucking half asleep and not rushing you. that's when the fighting line's good. And every video that I see of people use it, it's, oh, your team was half asleep. They were all waiting around the corner. No, when I go into trials, when I was on the Eternity map, you peeked, there was 3 people there. They shot. The moment they had 1 down, their initial instinct of every good fucking player on the planet is to rush. Because now it is a 4v3, and they are gonna come out on top. So when he puts it in situations that are unrealistic to 90% of situations, it's infuriating because it's not a thing. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in that situation. Don't be that guy because it's not gonna work for you. It won't. When you see guys using tractor cannon in trials, it doesn't really work that well because the other guy's going to have a rocket launcher or a one-bang shotgun, not a shotgun that just pushes you away. So if you even get close enough to repel him, there's a chance that he's just going to wipe you if he also has a shotgun because people are looking for stuff to actually kill. They need to rely on their own strengths and not all their team strengths. Last topic is the spawn system I mentioned. It is too consuming, and let me know what you guys think, because I know you've dealt with it. I live in a very realistic gameplay time, and I don't go into matches where I just come out on top because I just stood there in a hallway. I don't come out on top because I either rush unexpectedly or I try to do things out of the norm of what you think is going to happen. And I've noticed that even when I clutch out kills, I got a double kill yesterday where I was rushing into a situation and I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but hold my fucking beer. Let's go. We're going to try it. There's actually beer behind the bottle, but I'm not going to hold it up. But hold my beer. I'm going to try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm either going to trade or I'm going to trade because that seems like what you end up doing so much in Destiny is trading. I threw my swarm grenade, slid in, blasted him with 2-3 blasts of Last Hope, got a kill. I then rolled in, waited for the dude to jump up. He immediately jumped up because he's a little hurt. Throwing knife headshot, slid at him with 2 bursts of sidearm. 2 kills, 1 player. Is it amazing? No. But was it good? Yes. The downfall is, where did they spawn those 2 players? We are in the Eastern or European Dead Zone playlist. I don't know what the hell the map's called, where C is inside. They spawn them, I'm here, they spawn them here. All of maybe 15 meters away from me. So they spawn 2 enemies I just killed 15 meters away from me with overshields that last, I think, the first 2 seconds of spawn, 3 seconds of spawn. Then another dude rushes up. What did they want me to do? Of the entire map, when there's only 4 people on an anime team, they decide to spawn someone 10 feet from you. I don't get it. They need to fix it. This is something that if they fix, it will not hurt anybody. It won't. It's not something that's like, it's going to break the game. If they nerf one weapon, it's going to nerf the entire archetype. Nope, don't want any weapon nerfs. Not at the moment. We could use some buffs, maybe. Buff some hand cannons, make them fucking accurate again. Buff pulse rifles, make them accurate again. And yeah, fix the fucking spawn system. Excuse me, I'm not super PG. If you hear curse words, I can bleep them in the future. F preference shows in the comments. If it is, I'll bleep them out. I'll take the time. But it's one of those things that I don't get it. Because it happens all too often to where we will be winning and then they constantly kill my teammates. They're like all around me and then one guy goes down and apparently he just spawns and dies again because instead of spawning on us like he should, he somehow spawns in enemy territory and they're just getting kills. But I'm looking at all the enemies, so I'm wondering how people that are alive beside me are dying because their score keeps going higher and ours is staying the same. So it's just one of those things that the spawn system is so broken that it's one of those things you just look at and you're like, how have we not addressed it? We've had so many patches, so many little updates, like what, 3 or 4 now since the game came out? And not one has addressed the spawn system. Not even one has been like, hey, you know that system where you constantly spawn in enemies? The last thing I want to leave you with is this story from yesterday. I had a guy on my friends list. He decided to invite me to a game of Trials. I said, I'm down. I'm just playing quick play. If you guys lose a player, join me or send me an invite. They lost a player, sent me an invite. Well, that player decided to randomly come back after they lost him. So I said, oh, okay, and it didn't lock my game out at first, but I was in the process of joining. I was like, okay, my character's AFK, no big deal. They spawned a guy right in front of me. He just immediately took right to shoot the AFK player. Anybody would do it. I don't blame him for that. I blame the game for spawning me near a player or spawning him near me. There's the entire map. Icing on the cake was I died. I then went into a limbo period of joining but not joining because he sent another invite and it was like joining allies, but I was stuck. At this point, I could not move my character. I then saw my character be spawned in and a person immediately was already in the air jumping at me and rocketed me right where I spawned. I said, wow, that sucked. I couldn't even move my character. What the actual fuck, Bungie? Then I'm still in limbo. At this point, I'm about to turn my game off because I'm so mad that I'm getting killed when I can't even do anything about it. I spawn in and guess where they spawn me? Right next to someone shooting at me again. So I've now died 2 times from absolutely no fault of my own because I couldn't even control my character because the game was taking so long to take me out of the game. I then died an additional time because they decided to spawn the enemy 10 feet in front of an AFK player. Why is that a thing? What are your experiences with the spawn system and what changes do you want from it? Because I really just want it to be fixed. I want there not to be any issues with the spawning crap. Games would play out a lot differently if the spawns were fixed. Spawning on your teammates, it's not a good idea. It's not, because you're not teaching weak players how to be good players. You're constantly holding their hands. If this dude's getting beat on all his 1v1s, he needs to learn how to play. It's as simple as that. I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to be harsh. I mean to be realistic. If you lose your 1v1s constantly, you need to learn how to play. Go get into a bad battle with Randall the Vandal, learn how to strafe those shots, and really figure out what the hell you're doing in the game. Because someone spawning behind you and saving your life is really the pathetic thing about this game. Is that time and time again, I come into a situation, I slide, so I immediately dodge initial shots, and I outdueled a guy. I used the number for the very first time in the Crucible yesterday. I outdueled the crap out of this guy. I had half health, he had 1 sliver. I was 1 bullet away, and the next thing you know, a hunter's head appeared in front of the warlock's head I was shooting. He started taking all the damage for his buddy, and he had just spawned right behind him. Shouldn't exist, it shouldn't happen. I tried my damnedest to just get that kill. He was already on his way to running away, and I lost the fight to a guy who wasn't even in the initial encounter. So, what are your thoughts on the spawn system? This might seem like a crappy video. I love the game, and I will say I love the game. I hate this specific system, and I'm not going to change that. I'm always going to hate the spawn system until they fix it. So you will never get, oh, I love it, I hate it. No, I love the game, and I hate the system. I hate that it doesn't seem like these people take enough time developing the game, and they just put out unfinished products. We saw it in D1, and now we see it in D2 for the true players that play often. I make videos pretty much every day on guides about different things. I made a mod video because I hadn't seen many. I was hoping that would help people, but it did not have much input. Because I figure people want to know if the cooldowns and the mods they're wasting their time putting in their armor more than just get 5 light actually do things. So I took like 45 minutes of just testing off and on, trying to do different tests, and it didn't, and editing out, and it wasn't apparently very well versed. Hopefully people come back to it and they like it. Did the same thing for weapon mods. So if you want to know what your mods are doing, go check out those videos. That was my last video. Alright guys, hopefully this wasn't too ranty. Hopefully it didn't turn you guys off. I love making content. I love making videos that teach people how to do things. But creators need to teach Bungie how to do things because they don't do it. They don't test their stuff. I don't know if they just need us to go in there. Hey, what's wrong with this? Give me a simple answer. What's wrong with this? Because every time they come out with a product, it's like we all immediately find all the issues that they never took the time to find, and that shouldn't happen. So let me know what you guys think down below on the spawn system and on other things I talked about in this video. Stay awesome, as always. Until next time, Deathstroke out.